April 11th, 2025, Eastern Ukraine conflict zone. A massive airstrike took place in eastern Ukraine today when U.S. A-10 Warthog fighters launched a direct attack on a Russian convoy of armored personnel carriers, APCs. According to reports from military sources and eyewitnesses on the ground, the strike occurred at 09:45 local time and targeted a Russian military convoy that was moving in the Donetsk region. The explosion was thunderous. We saw dozens of vehicles on fire. The sky was filled with black smoke, said a local resident who witnessed the incident from a distance. Hundreds of casualty sources from the Ukrainian Defense Ministry say that more than 100 Russian soldiers were killed in the attack, with dozens more seriously injured. Official confirmation from the Russian side has yet to be released, but drone footage released by the Ukrainian side shows massive destruction at the scene. The attack is thought to be a response to increased Russian missile attacks on major Ukrainian cities in recent days. A-10 Warthog combat vehicle hunting machine. The A-10 Thunderbolt II, better known as the Warthog, is specifically designed to destroy armored vehicles. With its primary weapon, the 30mm caliber Gatling GAU-8 Avenger cannon, the aircraft is known to destroy ground targets with great precision. A-10 Warthog, the airborne butcher of steel. In the world of military aviation, there is one aircraft whose name is so feared by enemy ground forces, the A-10 Thunderbolt II, better known by the nickname Warthog. Despite its far from graceful appearance, this aircraft is a nightmare for armored vehicles on the battlefield. Born out of brutal necessity, the A-10 Warthog was born out of the United States military's need for a fighter capable of providing close air support, CAS, especially to destroy enemy tanks and convoys that threaten ground troops. In the early 1970s, when the threat of a large-scale ground war from the Soviet Union in Europe was very real, the U.S. Air Force organized an AX, Attack Experimental, competition. The winner, the Fairchild Republic A-10 Thunderbolt II, which first flew on May 10, 1972. GAU-8 Avenger, the heart and soul of the Warthog. What made the A-10 truly unique was its main weapon, the Gatling GAU-8 Avenger cannon, a 30mm caliber cannon with a firing rate of 3,900 rounds per minute. This weapon is capable of penetrating the armor of tanks and leveling armored vehicles in a matter of seconds. In fact, the aircraft is built around the weapon, not the other way around. Built to survive, not run, unlike other fighter jets that rely on speed. The A-10 relies on toughness and exceptional low maneuverability. It can fly low and slow to target ground targets with precision. Russian APCs, mobile steel on the battlefield. In the modern battlefield, armored vehicles are not just about tanks and heavy artillery. One of the backbones of Russian military mobility is the APC, Armored Personnel Carrier, a vehicle designed to safely transport troops across the battlefield. From the Cold War era to modern conflicts, the Russian APC has evolved into a symbol of motorized infantry power. The beginning, the Cold War and the birth of the BTR. In the 1950s, when tensions between the Eastern and Western blocs peaked, the Soviet Union realized the importance of personnel carriers that could protect troops from small arms and artillery fragments. And so the legendary series was born, BTR, Drone Transporter, BTR-40, 1950, early generation, truck-based, without roof protection. BTR-60, 1960, the first iconic 8-wheel model, capable of transporting up to 14 soldiers and could swim in water, amphibious. Followed by the more modern and rugged BTR-70, BTR-80, and BTR-82. The name BTR became synonymous with Soviet and Russian-made APCs. Characteristics of Russian APCs: high mobility in various terrains, from forests, deserts to snow. Amphibious capability, can cross rivers without bridges, light to medium weapons, such as 14.5 millimeter caliber machine guns and automatic grenade launchers. Large troop carrying capacity. NBC, nuclear, biological, chemical system for protection in polluted zones. Role on the battlefield. Russian APCs were used extensively in many conflicts. Afghan War, 1979 to 1989. The BTR-6070 faced mines and RPGs, triggering the development of additional protective layers. Chechnya, 90s. These vehicles were often targeted in city battles, highlighting their weakness in urban warfare. War in Ukraine, 2014 and 2022. The BTR-80 and BTR-82A became the backbone of troop mobility, but many were also destroyed by drone attacks, anti-tank missiles, and modern artillery. Challenges and criticism. Despite being powerful and versatile, Russian APCs have been criticized for thin protective layer on the bottom, vulnerable to mines and IEDs, less comfort and safety for troops compared to Western vehicles. Old designs are still used in large numbers, even though the battlefield has changed drastically. Modernization in the future. To meet these challenges, Russia began introducing new vehicles such as Boomerang, a new generation APC with a modular design, safer and more flexible. Kurganets 25, a hybrid infantry fighting vehicle, armed personnel carrier vehicle with active protection systems and modern technology. However, many of these projects are still in the testing phase or have not been widely mass-produced due to economic constraints and international sanctions. Conclusion. Russian-made APCs, from the BTR-40 to the BTR-82A, are silent witnesses to major conflicts involving Russian forces. While they have advantages in mobility and quantity, they also face tough challenges in modern warfare with precision technology and aerial threats. But one thing is for sure, Russian steel still rolls onto the battlefield, carrying troops and symbolizing the ground combat power of the East.